Hey y'all, hey, happy Monday. How's everybody doing? Thank y'all for joining me for another Monday moment with your girl Mojo. It's just 7:59 right now, so I'm going to give y'all a couple few minutes to join the link to join the live. But thank you for joining me each and every Monday for a moment with your girl Mojo under the guise of Finding Your Mojo with Maisha. I ask y'all to join me every Monday. It used to be 7 p.m. It is now 8 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time, because duty calls. So the way I can comfortably get to you all without rushing and making myself feel crazy is to change the time. So now every Monday, 8 p.m. EST, I ask you to join me for a moment with your girl Mojo. What happens on our Monday moments is that I usually interview a very special guest. Sometimes the special guest is me, but I am always the host, and I ask you all to join me for a moment as we discuss what's going on in the world in different ways to help you find your mojo and us too, and whatever it is we're doing, whether that's working, playing, finding a job, finding a friend, finding a community of people, or just showing up as our authentic self in whatever it is we are doing. So, y'all, happy Monday. I hope everybody is having a good week, plans to have a good week, and will have a good week, because that's what I plan to do. That's what I came to do. So, if you don't already know, hey, y'all, hey, I see y'all joining. The people are coming through. Every Monday, I have a different topic. We usually start with a cocktail before we get into the topic. Today, I thought it would be fitting to talk about breast cancer awareness. Last year, around this time, it was more closer to the middle of the month. Hey, Mrs. Selby, we I had an interview with the lovely Teresa Turpin, and we talked about her story and her challenges and her journey with breast cancer and how she survived it all. I see she just joined now too, so just in case she has a little something to add, do feel free to chime in. Everybody should feel free to chime in. But today I just wanted to take a little moment to talk to you all about Breast Cancer Awareness Month, talk about some things that I think about when I think about breast cancer, because it's such a big topic, not only in October, but I feel like all year round. I just wanted to make sure that we're talking about the things. Maybe you all can share some moments you all have had in your life, your experiences with either if you had breast cancer, people you know that had breast cancer. And at the end of the show, I'm not going to hold y'all too long today because it's just me, just blessed with me today. I'm going to repost the interview Teresa and I had last October about her story and her survival with breast cancer. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and make the drink. So hopefully that's okay with y'all. If y'all not drinking with me, just sip on any old thing. You don't have to sip on what I'm sipping. But because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I decided I'm going to sip on something simple and pink today. I have a little pink rosé, little pink Prosecco rosé even. It's one of my new favorites. It's nice and light, starts the day off, the night off right, not too heavy. I felt like it was the right thing to do. And I love things with my name on it. So I'm also accompanied by one of my favorite glasses with my name on it. So I'm going to pour a little pinky pink in my glass. Feel free to pour whatever y'all are pouring. If y'all don't have pink, I recommend you to try it at some other time in your life. A little pink bubbles does make me happy. Maybe you'll find it makes you happy too. And I'm gonna top it off just with a little pomegranate juice because I have some in my refrigerator and I feel like it's the right thing to do. I'm gonna get the best out of my pink today. So why not? Look at that. Look at those pretty colors right there. So cheers, y'all. Happy Monday. Yes, I see y'all coming through. Hey, BK to LA. Hey, Miss Kip. Hi, Mommy, Miss Johnson. Hey, Miss Selby. Yes, yes. Hey, NY49. Thank y'all for joining. Oh, Christopher, even. All right. Thank y'all for coming through. If y'all on Instagram, please know that I'm also going to post the video in its entirety on YouTube at FYM with Maisha. So follow me all the places. Like, share, follow. Happy Monday, y'all. Cheers. That's a pretty good pink drink. One of my favorites, even if I say so myself. So before we get started into the conversation, I want to make sure y'all know to feel free to put some questions, comments in the chat. I'm going to copy in the link. Well, if you're on Instagram, you should be able to go to my reels and go to our conversation last year, October 2024. I can't believe it, about to be 2026, with me and Teresa when she was sharing with us her story about breast cancer. I'm going to put the link in the chat again, but you can find a full episode on YouTube at FYM with Maisha. I'll also post it on Facebook after I finish this live, and you can also find it in my reels if you go to my page on Instagram. But y'all already on my page on Instagram, so y'all know about that life. So anyway, y'all, happy Monday. Got that out of the way. Cheers. Join me each and every Monday, 8 o'clock p.m. EST. Did I already say that? All right, so when I was thinking about what I was going to talk about today, I just wanted to have a conversation and see how y'all feeling, what y'all think. What are some of your thoughts around breast cancer and cancer in general, y'all? Because for me, it is pretty scary. But I know I've had family members, I've had friends who all had some battles, struggles, challenges with breast cancer. I know I try to make it a point to go. I don't try to. I make it a point to go get my breast examination every year. And I got to say that every time I get a little butterflies in my tummy just thinking about it. This last time I went, I was a little nervous. Well, I'm always a little nervous, but they always tell me to come back. You got to get the second exam. And I'm always thinking the second exam is going to lead to something else. And sometimes it is something else. And sometimes it's just a check and it's fine. I said all that to say I'm really working on in my old life, in my 50 years, to try to stop worrying about things I can't change and do the best I can with what I have. It's a mosquito flying around that's bitten me at least 4 times today. Sorry, sidebar. It's really getting on my nerves, and I can't kill it. I thought mosquitoes are supposed to be gone now. Sorry, I digress. But anyway, yeah, so breast cancer, breast cancer, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October, but I just feel like cancer in general is a scary thing. So if anybody wants to shout out any ways or any experiences, stories you've all had, do feel free to put them in the chat. I wrote down some notes for myself, so I'm not just looking down, texting people on my phone. I really wrote some notes about myself. For myself, about myself. For myself. And some of the things that came to mind was just how do we support our friends, family, ourselves when we have situations dealing with breast cancer? What are good ways people want to help? Because even I feel like when people pass away, when people are dealing with difficult things, we struggle sometimes about what to say, how to say it. And so I think it's important to think about the ways we can support the people. I'm sorry I keep saying it, but this mosquito has bitten me 4 times. Okay, I'm really sorry. Excuse me. So I just, when I was planning to talk about this today, I wanted to think about some real ways that we can support our friends, each other, and family members when we're going through this. I'm also going to look on the chat, so I will scroll through if y'all have any comments. BK to LA says, seeing my wife through taught me about cancer and marriage. It definitely taught me to check on the caretakers, significant others, and family members. Don't catastrophize. Can I say that? That's a hard word to say. Catastrophize like I do. Times are getting better. People organize a food train, and that was a blessing. I think food chains are always a blessing because, food eating is something we just do. But when you're going through difficulties and challenges, sometimes that's the least. It's the least thing I want to do when I'm not going through anything. So I can only imagine when you're dealing with things some type of way, having to worry about where your next meal is coming from. But you got to eat because that also helps sustain you. So there is that. Now, OB, you were sharing some of the things you said you went through with your wife. Did you feel like did it help if she talked about it? Did she want you to just be, how was it, or just to know that you were there to support her? What were some of the things that you experienced when you were going through that? And how long do you feel like that battle was? I don't know, Teresa, if you're still on, but how long? I know you dealt with it. You had a couple of bouts with breast cancer. I know it goes and comes, but how long were some of those intervals for you dealing with breast cancer? I know it's a little delay in the chat, so I'll give y'all a few moments to respond without talking y'all to death. more practical help than conversation. Okay. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. More practical help than conversation. Okay. Um, I know in life, for me, even, I haven't had cancer myself, but dealing with it or knowing people who have had it, I know one of the things that they share with me that they did, that was helpful, was community, and being able to be around people who are familiar with it, had it, have gone through it, just because, like you said, just the practical help, not just a conversation, but just knowing that you have a community or people that there that have some idea what it's like to go through that. So thank you for sharing that. Some of the other notes I wrote down was, ways to find support. I know my church every year does a special breast cancer acknowledgement wall to people to share some of their photos who had breast cancer. I know there's a bunch of walks and runs that people go on, and marathons people do for cancer also. But yes, I would definitely say thank you, Miss Selby, to join a support group. But I just feel like even the prayer group I join every morning, just I feel like having a community or support group there, even if, maybe it's not in your mind to do it every day, or you don't feel like doing it all the time, just to know it's there is a good thing. And some of the benefits of having the World Wide Web these days is being able to reach out or find communities like that, and it can be as intimate or non-intimate as you want. It could be a Zoom call. Now that Miss Corona is over, sometimes it could be in person if that's what you prefer. So I just think we have lots of options out there, and I think it's important that if you need the help, you definitely reach out to people and seek the help. Or sometimes tell people, especially if they're your real friends, what they need. Because what I find is sometimes we assume people know what we need, and we could both be going through the same thing, but need different kind of support and different kind of help. So I think it's important that sometimes you ask if that's in your wheelhouse. Ask for the help. Talk to the people. Hi, Sabina. Thanks for joining. Yes, I'm not going to type today. Usually I try to type and chat with y'all, but I've been hearing that you hear me typing, and that's a little distracting. So I'm going to do my best just to talk through the comments and not type back at y'all. But do know that I appreciate you all for joining me each and every Monday when you can, joining me tonight and in the future for supporting the Monday Moments, because I really enjoy doing them. So I hope you all enjoy joining them as well. Mrs. Selby says, I used to wake up to people on the phone praying for me that I have still never talked to. That's dope. I think prayer changes things when you know it or you don't know. I think we're all still here because the power of prayer, for the prayers we know about and the prayers we don't. All our people, I think, are watching over us and praying for us. Our ancestors, our people that came before us included. What are some of the other things I wrote down? Share, and one of the things I wrote down was to share practical ways to help. Running errands, fixing food. I wrote that down. Emotional caregivers, I wrote down, and self-care tips for them. Do you all have any self-care tips? Can you I saw you put in here, did anybody put any? Oh no, I don't think I saw. I thought I saw something about broth, but you know how sometimes your eyes play trick and back and forth. I read that as broth at first. But are there any self-care tips that you can give anybody that's going through any type of illness? I know we're talking about breast cancer, but are there any self-care tips? Positive affirmations, brain dumps? Are there any things you all could share that you do when you're going through stuff? I guess I could share something. I go through stuff, right? We all go through something. I think what's been helping me a lot, or what often helps me, I don't do it as often as I should, but writing in journals, and also writing down. And I know people say this all the time, but grateful journals really do help me. Like whatever it is I'm going through, no matter how difficult it is, I try to think of something that I'm also grateful for. Not only is it a distraction, but it also makes me feel a little lighter, makes me feel like whatever it is I'm going through ain't as bad as I thought. At least that's how I walk away from it. If there's hair loss, pretty scarves. I like that. Personal, so probably best for someone you know well. I like that. Pretty scarves. Ain't nothing wrong with a pretty scarf. You did? You look to breast? I didn't know that. To breast cancer, Christopher? Wow, I did not know that. We'll have to talk more about that. It's so funny. I had a conversation with somebody I've known. How long have I known you now, Coach Orlando? For years. And we had an interview on Friday that was supposed to be him interviewing me, that turned more into me interviewing him. And I learned a lot. I learned more in that hour, I think, that I've known in the last few years about him. So, yes, feel free to share. It's so funny. Sometimes you have friends for so long that you just get into the pattern, into the groove of that being your friend, and you hanging out and you just enjoying the feeling, the joy, the love. And then I'm like, yeah, but where's your mother from again? And what did you do when you were little? And if y'all know me, I do not have a shortage for questions. So I think I might make that a new point for one of my goals for the new year is to ask more questions of my friends, even when we're just hanging around doing anything. Yes, years, years, years. So anyway, like I said, I'm not going to keep y'all long, but I just wanted to not acknowledge Breast Cancer Month because it is a real thing. Cancer in general, to me, is a real, real, real big thing, and it's affecting. You can't be alive and not be affected by cancer. So I just encourage everybody to talk about it, share about it, and reach out to people. Tell me what I could do for you. You let me know what you could do for me. But I think it's just so important to, because it can be so scary. So I just think we got to talk about these things. I mean, there's a bunch of things going on in the world today, but you can't pay for health. So if we can at least share each other with each other when we're going through things and challenges, and today we're talking about cancer, so that for sure how we can be a support to you, how we can be a support to each other, I think is so important. She had a double mastectomy, but complications from chemo destroyed her body. Wow, Chris, I'm so sorry to hear that. I did not know that. We're going to have a little sidebar about that. We might have to have a little Monday moment of our own. But like I said earlier last year, this time, Teresa and I had a whole hour discussion about that. She let me be all intrusive and get all in her business about her best breast cancer story. So I'm going to post it, and it's on my page on Instagram. I'm going to post the link to it on Facebook and on YouTube. And I'll try to figure out, if I'm smart enough, how to bring it to the top of my story on Instagram. Not sure. We're going to see. But at the very least, I can also put it in the chat, maybe. Let me see. Let me see if I could copy and paste. Let me see what happens. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that there. Oh, it's asking me, do I want to send it to people? Anyway, nobody got time for that. But just so you know, please look for the what do we say? The interview in its entirety about breast cancer and Teresa's story on my page, or on my on my page on at Mojo295 on Instagram, at YouTube at FYM with Maisha, where you'll find loads and loads of my Monday moments and the videos in their entirety. Yes, all up in your business, girl. And I am going to attempt to also post a reel on Facebook, which I think is highly doable. So holla at your girl, y'all. Every Monday, I ask y'all to have a moment with me where I discuss different issues of the world and what's going on. Not only issues of the world, but I usually interview a guest and ask them what's going on with them. And they let me know and us know. They share their stories about how they find their mojo and whatever it is they're doing. They're working, they're playing, they're studying, they're going back to school. They're trying to quit school. They're trying to quit a boyfriend, trying to quit a husband. Whatever it is they're going through, I ask them to share how they found their mojo in their life. And if you don't know, finding your mojo is just how you show up as your authentic self, and whatever it is you're doing. We usually top off the conversation at the top of the hour with a cocktail or a mocktail, just depending on what kind of mood I'm in. Today it's a pink cocktail. I like to theme it out if I can. You should also know that I have a spinoff production called Align Your Mojo that you can also find on YouTube, that I will also post on my page. Align Your Mojo is just a spinoff from the Monday Moments. We usually highlight one of the issues, one of the topics, one of the points that I made during my Monday Moment and riff on it a little bit. It's myself and Orlando Bishop, aka Coach Orlando. We just talk about one of the topics from the Monday Moment. So I'm trying to get all with y'all. I'm trying to get y'all to join me all week long. Now you can find that production or podcast or blog on YouTube also at, I'm trying to get it right, OB, at Align Originals on YouTube at Align Originals. So y'all holla at your girl every Monday at 8 p.m. EST. But you can see me all the time if you miss my Monday moments on YouTube at FYM with my Isha. Y'all know how to spell my name, right? But anyway, I thank y'all all for your support. I thank y'all for joining me on all the Mondays that you can. If you have topics, do feel free to share them with your girl. I love to talk to you. I love when y'all talk back to me. So we're going to talk about all of the things if we want. In weeks coming, I don't know which week's coming, I'm going to talk to a poet. I'm going to talk to somebody who's in the music industry. I'm going to talk to a couple few people in the industry, in the music industry, with us, what they're working on, what they're doing these days, and how they found their mojo on what they're doing. Y'all already know I get my wellness fitness on, so I'll have a few people on to talk about fitness and how they stay healthy, how we can stay healthy, and how they found their mojo being healthy. So we're going to talk about all of the things. But if I didn't mention something that y'all are interested in talking about, like, share, follow, comment, drop in my DMs and let me know, y'all. All right. So listen, y'all have a good week. I know I plan to. Cheers to y'all and much love and support to all of those that are going through breast cancer, have gone through breast cancer, and still have a little ways to go. Holla at your girl. Let me know how I can help. I can be there, how we can be there, how we can support. Love y'all and thanks for joining. Follow me. I'm going to put the watch the interview from last year. I am going to put the link in the chat and on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Have a good rest of your night. I'm going to go eat. I don't know what y'all going to do, but I will see y'all back here next Monday at 8 p.m. EST. Have a good night, y'all.